Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Aspiring Entrepreneur. Welcome to our daily stock recap. It is Tuesday, April 6th, 2021. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Let's get right into it. In today's video, we'll be covering over our stocks, Apple, Tesla, Palantir, Clover Health, Spce, and AI. Okay, with that said, guys, as always, appreciate if you hit the like and subscribe button. As we are a 100% free content channel. Today was a great day for the market, guys. As always, we're trying to make higher highs and higher lows. And a lot of our stocks that we've covered have rebounded significantly since the recent lows a few weeks ago when we had that massive sell-off. And so with starting off with Apple, you can clearly see here we've outlined some really solid support and resistance lines. We had 123, 125, and 127.50 sort of coming up. And today was just a great day to see sort of 123 is definitely held, and we'll definitely change that to an actual support now for Apple. And then also what we had was we also broke another key level here of 125. Now I'm not quite ready to change that as a support, but you can see we validated it yesterday and we held above it today. So it is a support. And then you can clearly see that the top here at 127.50 is still valid. And so we're trending higher as expected. We had here right at the 50-day, like I discussed yesterday, is we would hit the 127.50, and that's going to start acting as a resistance. And I mentioned that yesterday that it's right under 128. It's about 127.75. And so you can see this candle here right at the top band. So we're actually bullish on Apple, and you can definitely see a trend reversal here. And so what we want to do is you see this breakout right here at this top right here around 127. Okay, and so this 127 has been sort of giving Apple some issues. And so just keep tabs on that, and let's see if we can trade above the 50-day. I expect us to hit it, tomorrow. Essentially, we're right there. And then of course, once we can get over it, then it'd be considered, it's still on the bullish side, but then we can definitely see, an uptrend. As you can see, we've sort of flattened out on Apple the last couple months where we hit this top here at 145 when we heard about the Apple car news, and it's just been slowly downtrending, but now we found a good base here in the high teens. And so, solid buy here. You can see this run up here and it failed, and then it came back and it's trying again. And so we want to break this top off, guys. That's when you're going to see a lot more volume too. On the RSI, you can see we're kind of still in the neutral zone. We're right around 55, and you can see we still do have some positive momentum for the stock. And so again, as always, guys, Apple is sort of a safe stock. It's definitely something that they say you hold Apple, you don't sell Apple. And so if you've bought down here, you dip buy it, again, not a bad area to sell, or to at least sell some shares, getting into the 50-day resistance level. Okay, and so you can see really it's going to be that 127.50, the 127.75 is where that 50-day is going to be when we test it. Okay, and so solid day, and I would expect that to happen this week. Tesla, our 695 resistance line has been solid for us. It's definitely been, holding up pretty well. You can see that we had essentially multiple bounces on that level today. So we had it sort of here late in the morning, and then we had it again here late in the day. And so that 695 is clearly still a resistance line. We did briefly break it. We gapped up when we had the news of the new price target and the deliveries yesterday, and then we failed that level. And then today you can see that it's still acting as strong resistance, the 695. And same thing as Apple, I mentioned this clear top here at like 710, 715. And so same sort of idea, guys, is we're looking for this top part of this Bollinger Band and this 50-day to act as a resistance, which is around that 725, 730 area. And so that should probably come in this week as well. Okay, and so for Tesla, it's holding this key level here around 680, 685. And then the top here is 695. And so what I would expect to see is that our low, if I was to risk along, is 685. And then I would aim for as sort of a get out play here around 720. Okay, and this level here, like I said, the 710, you can see we've been essentially stuck on that now for quite some time. Okay, and so that's the problem is right here, is that this level right in here. And so once we can get out of that, we should be back at the 50A, and same sort of play as Apple. Palantir, clear top at 24. It's been a slow mover. It hasn't been that exciting. The volume's definitely died down. You can see today we traded around 41 million shares, and the average volume's around 60 million. And so it hasn't really done too much. We have demo day coming up in about 8 days, so that's exciting. Just to kind of see what Palantir is doing, what they're up to. They announced a new contract yesterday, so we had this massive run up, but as always, it just doesn't seem to hold key levels. And so, you know, same thing with Palantir, is we're trading on the bearish side of the Bollinger Band, but we've made a clear base here around $21. And so, and the same thing here is this last run up, we retraced all the way up to our 2750 resistance level, which is right over here. And so for Palantir, I still expect continued sideways in this Bollinger Band channel, where we base around 21 and we trade between that and here at 2750. And so I can definitely see us getting up back to 2750 and it potentially fading. But then what we really need to see is a pickup in volume like we did in these days, and like we did on the days that we really had some momentum in the stock. And so it's going to continue to trade sideways. And, you know, again, if you're trading the stock, clearly, you know, we've identified some really solid resistance and support levels. And so just keep those in mind. But I can definitely see us getting pushed back up to 2750 over the next week and getting into demo day. Okay, and so let's just see what it can do, and let's see if we can get some type of price action similar to what we had back in the end of January. Okay, and Clover Health, solid stock. A lot of these stocks are really running up. So we had a pre-market run here yesterday, and the same thing here. So 780 has been giving it some problems. I've noticed that's been kind of the trend lately with Clover Health. And so basically what we can do is we can expect that, you know, that's going to be a clear top for Clover Health. And the same idea here is we're trading on the bottom half of the Bollinger Band, and so it's still a bearish signal, and you can see that the volume is extremely low. We're only trading 3 to 4 million shares. And so, you know, same thing here is this is what we call a gravestone doji. And so there's just so much selling going on, and there's not a lot of buying, and there isn't a lot of volume. And so we still have this bottom here, and we said that this was a higher low. And so that's the good news. And then what we want to do is get a breakout here above our 910 level that we got stuck in back here a couple weeks ago. Okay, so if we can break through 910 and sort of, let's say, try it again, right? We tried it again, we consolidated and failed, and now we made the higher low, and now let's see if we can get above this and trade above and get into the 950. And I mentioned to you guys, I'm trading more into the 50, into the 1050 push into Clover Health. And again, same thing as yesterday. I mentioned we just need some catalyst, some positive catalyst, hopefully, but this stock's just been absolutely beaten down. Spce, I actually shorted the stock today. I mentioned yesterday at the open, look for a push quick to the resistance levels here between 30.25 and 30.50, and that's what we got. And then you can see there was some push and then some sell off, and then there was another push and sell off. And then you can see here that we had these tops sort of broken late in the day. Okay, and so when we talk about short plays, we're talking about short scalps, and we're talking about plays that you can get 25, 30, 40, 50 cents. And so we had that pretty much all day, but you can clearly see it was uptrending over the fast moving SMA line. And so the longs were definitely in control of the stock, and you can see that every time we had a top, it essentially got broken. Okay, and so when you have this sort of quick volume and this run up, it's easy to get these scalp plays, guys. But if you're trying to get in midday, a lot of times it's hard when a stock is moving upwards. And so, you know, $31 is still, you know, we identified as a resistance level, and it ended up hitting that right at the last hour. And so 31 is clearly a resistance level for the stock, and we'll keep the 28.50. And what I was hoping for is a quick run up and then a fade back down to 28.50. We didn't get that, but I still see the stock as a potential, as another potential test. Okay, but definitely 31 still going to validate us as a resistance. And yesterday you can see that level failed. Okay, AI. Another solid stock, you know, that's sort of making a rebound now and giving us that higher high and higher low. And so we've had this bottom here down all the way at 60, I believe it was $61. And you can see here that we've been now trading consolidating, and the 73 level has been a resistance line. And so we've been consolidating in a very tight range. And this is a stock that usually moves up to, you know, if you look at the ATR, it could move up to like $7, $8. And so the fact that it's consolidating in a tighter range is a good sign. You can also see that the volume was about 50% of its normal volume over the last 10 days. And so it's the same idea, is that it needs a catalyst to really get off of the bearish side of the Bollinger Band. But at the same time, the fact that we're consolidating and holding levels now and not making essentially a lower high and a lower low gives me some faith, at least, that we can now see a trend reversal. Haven't seen necessarily the engulfing candle that I've mentioned if you were to essentially buy a long-term position. But again, like I said, I mentioned before, is we want to see is a blow off this top around $90 before we can confirm this trend reversal. And keep in mind that the upper part of the Bollinger Band is still up here in the 90s. And so there's plenty of opportunity. And I mentioned to you guys that I'm going to start selling my shares around the $82 level, which is way up here. And then we'll start selling portions as we sort of reverse this trend. But clear bottom here at $62, $61.50 for AI. Okay, guys, with that said, I know this video was a little quick. Hopefully you guys appreciate the shorter video. Let me know if if you have any questions or comments on any of the stocks that we cover, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.